So you don't see how long I don't did at the APC.
Don't
even as a student. Yeah. Immediately after I graduated in 1976, Dr. Shaka Stevens, the then president at the time, saw it fit to appoint me as the first press secretary to the president at State House. I worked with Dr. Stevens for about 2 years. Then one day he called me and advised me, say, Balogu, that's what he called me, say, you're a young man. He said, fine, you just State House now, everything is there, or they go offline, or they go overseas. He said, but go try and learn something for your future. Okay. He said, I'd advise you for joining the administration. So he called Abdul Karim, going as the secretary to the president at the time of blessed memory. Then posted me in a provincial secretary's office board as assistant secretary. Then the late Jobsi Momo was provincial secretary. From there, I served as assistant district officer in Pujem, Moyamba, senior district officer, Potloko, Konom. Then I came back to Freetown, senior assistant secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Power. Later in the Ministry of Transport. The late Edward Cargo was minister in the ministry where later, many years forward, I will become the minister of that same ministry. And then in 1992, while I was head of the Electoral Commission, there was a military coup in Sierra Leone. I left the country after 3 years in 1995 because we've been here for first commissions of inquiry at the time in 1993 to 1994. After that, I go America. I did America for 11 years. I've been a work for American Airlines, and also I've been a work for a company with them, Aeolink. I decided to come back in 2006 for can join President Ernest Bai Koroma for the 2007 campaign, an election which we won. Thereafter, I was appointed Minister of State in the Office of the Vice President from 2007 to 2009. Thereafter, I was appointed coordinator for the 50th Independence Anniversary celebrations. Thereafter, in 2012, I was appointed diaspora coordinator and national elections coordinator for the first time in the history of the party. And after we win the 2012 elections, I became Minister of Transport and Aviation. And I also still hold the positions of diaspora coordinator and national elections coordinator until I recently released by the coach.
Well, thank you very much. That's a very, very long resume. It's a very, very long resume. But one thing I pick up, you spent a lot of time coordinating elections. You know, you were also, as you stated, I'm saying, having the election commission, even coming to the governor on the 2018 election. Now, with a gear up for the 2023 elections, being in position at the 2008 elections as the election coordinator, were there any lessons learned at that time, 2018? We probably, obviously, we know basically good or bad lessons they learned at that time, 2018.
Well, first of all, in 2018, the party will benefit from the December 5, 1995 Constitution. And that Constitution, they allow for selection. So that Constitution, they serve the party very well because it will ensure unity and cohesion within the party. All that kind of boku divisions we will witness now not be there because of that clause there. And that clause there not be means say that the selection without consultation. It was selection by consultation, but it will reduce the acrimony, it will reduce the division, it will reduce the infighting. Having said that, in 2018, after the selection of Dr. Samoa Kamara. A lot of the other candidates, them about 25 or so, we've been disgruntled, they're left-handed. They're not enjoying the campaign with their hearts and minds for support the party, because some will not be like the way things will go. But the president at the time, President Ernest Bai Koroma, now the NAC and the party, they give him the mandate for choose, for select. So he exercised that mandate there, he select. But after that, including some of the people that will be saying, hey, pa, go ahead, you select no more, they'll not be like that. So that brings division in the party. And that's now one of the reasons that we would lost the election. So we for learn from that mistake there. This time, we forget, God willing, we get the 2022 constitution. We not get selection, not election. So this time around, when they put the ballot box, anybody will emerge as flag bearer, all of the candidates them, for throw them weight behind that winner day and go into the election.
So that's a very, very good point. Just like you mentioned, after the 2018 selection of Dr. Samoa Kamara, there were many issues then, just like you rightfully stated, whereby some of the aspirants at the time, everybody be facing at time. But with the wisdom of then President Ernest Bai Koroma, decided to choose Dr. Samoa Kamara. So moving forward right now, we're looking forward to the 2023 election. From your own position, how will fiscal unity right now? Because APC right now, there's lots of different pockets there. You, from 1973, you've been around APC. That's a very, so you have a passion for APC. How will you unite APC now moving forward to 2023?
Name me one political party that the world will united. 100%. It don't exist. Even the Communist Party of China, even the Workers' Party of Korea, in the communist countries, internal division then they. Once in a while you go and you say that they pull somebody, come inside meeting, then they execute somebody. So not to talk about the United States of America, or mainland Europe, or the UK and I. Look at how many prime ministers the UK and I don't change in a matter of months. So politics is a power game. And when you fight for power, nobody not going to take power and give you on a silver platter. You have to compete for it. So divisions and competition is an integral part of politics all over the world of democratic principles. So in our new to the APC, go back to the history of the APC. The APC don't always survive in crisis. From 1967 to 1996 to 2002 to 2007. 2007, we did a court until weeks to the election, where the court grantee lift the injunction for that we will hold the National Delegates Convention, where eventually bring Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma into power. So divisions go there, but at the end of the day, the common denominator should be the APC. So everybody should revolve around the APC at the end of the day, because the APC is bigger than all of us. The APC is bigger than every candidate. The APC is bigger than every office holder. So the APC is the common denominator, which should bring and unite all of us.
And I like how I don't sometimes say, and you will be one of the people then for embark for say, once there's an aspirant, a flag bearer come January, you will galvanize all these other aspirants who will follow behind that one.
In fact, it will be mandatory. It will be a party policy. Everybody will contest for flag bearer. You will sign an undertaking for say you will support whoever win. Because the election, and the election is going to be transparent. It has to be transparent. They never put the ballot box system in full view. If possible, let them be glass ballot boxes, transparent boxes. When they call your name or your district for go vote, you go, you grab, you go, you drop your ballot in full view of everybody. Let not get cause for let anybody complain, say, oh, they don't cheat me, oh, they don't hook me. No. When they beat you, they beat you. One thing I can always say, during the SLPP flag bearer election of 2012, I think at the beginning you had about 10 or 11 or 13 candidates. Then go and vote the first round. Some man have one vote you get. Some man have two you get. That here will vote for themselves. The other man get 3 votes. In welfare and they vote for themselves. So some man go allow being a candidate to put the box somewhere. I mean they win this and that. But at the end of the day, when they put the box, sometimes are 2 votes they get. But let it be transparent. Let it be free and fair. Let it be credible. Let it create a level playing field for everybody and give everybody the opportunity to show themselves. And that and only that now will bring unity to the APC going into the 2023 elections.
Thank you very much. I think you talk very openly about the transparency we all foresee, we all expect. Let me ask a quick question. You were so from 2007 to 2009, you served as the Minister of State, as the then Vice President. You born where from Kono. So what's your relationship with Chief Samson Malasa?
Excellent. What will be the relationship with your brother? It's going to be excellent. Your brother is your brother. I cannot change the dynamics of my birth. Chief Samson Malasa is my brother from Kono. And he will remain my brother for life. So we have an excellent relationship. We had an excellent working relationship while I served him as Minister of State. And we still have an excellent relationship up to this day.
So now currently, from then on to you serve, obviously, as a position as then Minister. You were also involved in many cabinet meetings with Dr. Samuel Kamara again. And also, you've been your election coordinator come the election. What's your relationship with Dr. Samuel Kamara?
Equally excellent. Dr. Samuel Kamara is my political brother. In 2018, I personally contributed financially and otherwise to his campaign. I think you can attest to that. Dr. Samuel Kamara is also my Masonic brother. Okay. I'm a Mason, and I'm proud to be a Mason. Despite all the negative things that they say, they don't even know what is going on in there. They just assume.
Too many assumptions.
I see people saying it's a cult, it is this. I'm a fervent Christian, and I'm a practicing Christian. And I will not be part of anything that is devilish or cultish. So every man is entitled to his or her ridiculous opinion. So they can say what they may. That is their ridiculous opinion. But the fact of the matter is that Masonry is the brotherhood of man. And it's a brotherhood of humanity. And the core principles of Masonry are faith, hope, and charity. Wherever there is faith, hope, and charity, there is nothing devilish. I can assure you.
That's a very good way you put that. Let's talk about Kono a little bit, sir. Kono now, Kono is being considered a swing state. You have stakeholders from Kono, yourself, you have Diana Konomani, you have Yambasu, you have then Vice President, you have other people. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it seems like there are some differences in Kono. There's a little bit of factions here, factions there. Waiting, una get to do for unite Kono, for let all these other people inform. Because if one of the stakeholders divide, then the people we una they represent also be divided.
Name one district where don't get divisions.
But right now,
Podloko, Gambia.
But una piece of the pie is very important.
Agree. We are a swing state. Yeah. And look at the history of Kono. First of all, in 1962, Chief Songo Gwiwa, the late of blessed memory, was the political leader of the Kono people. And Shaka Stevens thought it fit to make an alliance with him. Why? Because Dr. Shaka Stevens has more association with Maniland than with Kono. But he decided in his wisdom to make an alliance with Kono because he had seen the political dichotomy in the country. There are 6 districts in the southeast that you would say principally are Mende districts. I'm not being tribalistic.
I understand. Yeah.
I'm just giving you the politics of the country as it is. Bo, Moyamba, Bot, Pujeon, Kenema, and Kaira. Yeah. Okay? Kono, nevertheless, it is in the southeast. It is a swing state.
It's a standalone state.
Kono follows their political leaders. They followed Chief Songo Gwiwa in the 60s. They followed the late Abu Koroma in the DPP. And thereafter, they followed Chief Sam Sumana, whether you like it or not. Chief Sam Sumana in 2018, his party, by then C4C, won 8 out of 9 seats in Kono. This is the reality of the situation. And if politicians fail to accept political realities and facts, then they are doomed to failure. So as far as I'm concerned, we should unite Kono. And to a very large extent, as I speak now, we are united in Kono. We are not 100% united, but we are 95% united. You can find out for yourself. And it is imperative that we unite Kono, and unite Kono also further with the APC going into the 2023 elections. Because we cannot afford to have divisions in Kono going into the elections. We don't want to repeat what happened in 2018. We know what happened in 2018 when Kono was not with us for one reason or the other. So therefore, we should all go out and find ways to unite Kono with the APC.
So in your own position, sir, in your own position as APC and also from Kono, so how will you do that? To unite APC and the Kono people.
Okay. First of all, we have to look at the principal players going into the 2023 elections. Of course, there is Dr. Samuel Kama, who was the flag bearer for 2018. There is the Big Six, as they call themselves, several presidential aspirants. There are others, the AUKs of this world, the Dr. Kefala Mara, the Mohamed Sisse, and a host of others. Yes. It is not deliberate that if I leave out any of the names. Cake to share if we win the elections. There's more than enough to go around. Only one person will win. Only one person is going to become the flag bearer. So what are we fighting for? And in that vein, I had made efforts. I had made personal efforts. I visited Dr. Samuel Kama. I visited his campaign chairman, Lassana Fadika, who happens to be my friend, on several occasions. I visited Dr. Sam Sisse, and for each of those visits, I had the blessings of Chief Sam Sumana, who is my brother. He told me, go ahead and talk to these people in the interest of the party.
So how were those discussions?
Well, those discussions went on well until it got to a stage wherein, the two were supposed to meet, and then you had obstacles in the way. You had people who didn't like it for one reason or the other, so they created political obstacles. But I'm not giving up.
Good.
And one of the reasons why I'm here today is to continue to preach that unity, that cohesion among not only Chief Sam Sumana, and Dr. Samuel Kamara, but also among all of the flag bearer aspirants of the APC party?
I think it's very thoughtful of you, and also it's a very good, bold step forward in terms of bringing the so-called big guns together. Because without all these guys, all these aspirants coming together, APC, it would be a challenge. Because the people look forward to some of you guys, to some of you stakeholders, for us to bring the party together, and looking forward to the 2023 election. Let me, this program is a Creole program, so like we just started speaking English. It's because of the viewers.
Oh, I don't go back to Creole.
Yeah, because of the viewers. So because we have people from different.
Okay.
So briefly, now we're coming. Okay, the lower levels election starts on the 10th.
We will not ever delete members them from voters register. I think that the first time this will need a year, say that quantum of people have been deleted. But to some extent, the head of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Mohamed Kone, don't accept the problems there in that area. A lot of CSOs and other groups, they not confront them on, let it give the reason why you delete that substantial number of 250,000 voters, and there has been no acceptable response as of now. So let me just hope that they will adequately address that issue, as he said in a press release where he issued recently.
Yeah, because for me, Mr. Omar, I mean, my own great concern is the election 2018 was only decided by 90 to 91,000 votes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now, coming into this election now, 251, roughly 3 times the numbers of votes will be beside election have been deleted.
Yeah.
And once we analyzed the numbers and really well, we saw that it came from the so-called APC strongholds. Like Western area took a huge hit.
Yeah.
We see the North also took a huge hit. So I'm not sure if it's for just taken openly or there's something more to it.
Well, that matter is inconclusive. As I say, it has been challenged. It has been criticized. Several bodies, whether electoral bodies, other parts of the world, don't raise issues with that, and they not ask the Electoral Commission for an explanation, an acceptable explanation. And I think, say, all man, they wait, let we be patient, wait patiently, and see how we can resolve that issue. And I hope, say, they will be magnanimous enough for correct that.
Thank you very much. I just want to come to this other a quick area whereby, since APC, whether they could lost power or they take power, whatever you want to believe, it's about one court case to another court case. One court case, another court case. Then now we don't know who's with this right now. In terms of, first we get Peter Quentin now, where they say I just want to know which now you've used them, this court case or another court case. Then is it because some of these, they not get sentimental attachments to APC? Because I can find out very difficult to say somebody like you that since in the 70s you went to APC, you stood up for APC Day from college. You will hesitate not to take APC in a court, whereby you will come to one of the big one there and go knock it, you say left go, you understand it. So I just want to know which time you use them with all these APC.
Well, in politics you have all sorts and conditions of men. You get all kind of people in politics. And APC are a grassroots party, not an elitist party. APC is the party of the traders, the market women, the fishermen, the farmers, the Okada riders, taxi drivers. Shaka Stevens was a trade unionist in the 60s. And Shaka Stevens at one stage, or throughout his life as a trade unionist, money not to be the focus. Even they advocate for workers there. So, and then people have been contribute small money for make the party. What he be? Shaka Stevens became mayor of the Jam. Shaka Stevens became Prime Minister of the country and later President. As I say, politics is our game. Not a bed of roses. Not even though somebody can, me and you, they fight for this phone. There's going to be a struggle. But as you rightly say, it will be better if we're able to resolve with differences among ourselves than going to court. But in a democratic dispensation also, people get right for go to court. But we go hope that common sense will prevail. But at the same time, when APC can win election, na boku court case.
So
look at the history of the party.
So Abigail, former Attorney General, Frank Kago, ASF teach over the same thing, whereby APC since 1967, where we say President Shaka Stevens commoded the Olana 7 commoded the over the election. So in back, try for put fears and down say probably it's for the better. Some of these challenges, these internal challenges.
So at the end of the day, everybody at the APC will see reason why we for come together, why we for put with personal issues aside and come together for the unity of the party going into 2023.
Good. So now let's talk about going into 2023. Magistrate Judge Fisher don't say at least by the 29th of January of Ronde to flag bearer. You said several advocates say we need transparency. People don't know exactly what they go on coming to coming to the January 29th. Okay. What does APC needs to do to win this election?
3 things. Number 1, unity. Number 2, unity. Number 3, unity. We have to be united.
And could I
if we not unite, how can we go into such a critical elections as a divided party? As a divided party. No, we should be united if we are to win.
And I'm aware for some of the reach out, who Dr. Samoa Kamara reach out to so many of the major players then, you know, I can go ahead and call them, but they don't really make a conscious effort to really reach out and have a conversation with some of the major players there, some of these aspirants there too. You likely say that everybody get it right for who now whoever the convention get for take place. So let there be, the voting get for take place. Whereby ballots will be, and put ballots and down, everybody go cast and vote, and whoever the winner will emerge, and we believe say with some of Funayon, big one in the party, now we'll go galvanize everybody again for push everybody in the right spot. Briefly, I just want to change something quick. Right now in this country, fear business is a problem. We cannot, and you are once the Minister of Transport, so you have a lot to do to that. What's the issue with this fear increase?
First of all, let Dr. Samoa reach out more.
Okay.
Let continue to reach out. Let the other flag bearers, aspirants, then continue to reach out. I mean, I read something about the new president of Kenya,
Okay.
William Ruto. He came from very humble beginnings. During his campaign, William Ruto held over 3,000 meetings. 3,000 meetings at all levels. So he reached out more than 4,000 times. Today he's the president of Kenya. When you know what you want, and you reach out. You know the time to reach out and bring everybody together. And you don't give up on anybody.
I don't think so. I don't think say at this point.
You know they give up on anybody. You bring everybody on board. So Dr. Samoa Kamara tried. But let's do more.
Let's do more. Okay.
Let's do more.
I know say Dr. Samoa
and let the other flag bearers themselves do more.
Yeah, because there's only just like I say, now in one way he wants, so I get for do the most of the reaching out, and just like I say, I'm aware that you don't try for reach out, You know,
that one what you wanted. If you not see other people, they want to.
Well, that's true. That's true. It's a very competitive.
It's a political reality.
That's true. So obviously, hopefully, there will be a time whereby I think pull ahead to prevail.
Yeah.
If even it takes after the January 29th final date, whereby somebody will emerge, whereby we all can sit down
in the interest of the party. And by the way, you said they run for the position of deputy national.
Yes. I've won the APC because I've won first candidate inside, but I saw the flyers. I'm like, okay. I think we all on that instead of enjoying the race. I'm not surprised with the background where you get. I mean, you've been around for a long time, so sometimes somebody like you, we don't depend on this party since the 70s, since college days. So it's only right, probably, you aspire for what you want to aspire for, and let yourself people achieve. So briefly, since this why you aspire for such a position?
Well, I don't work for the APC all my life. I don't serve in all capacities, what I don't mention to you just now. I don't want to repeat them. In administration, in politics. I take the APC diaspora from a few branches to 30 branches. We'll get now in Asia, in Africa, in continental Europe, in UK and I, in North America, from a few to 30. Very few in 1992, after the coup d'etat. Now they will start, UK and I. Go to the United States, where I was president of the Washington Metropolitan Chapter of the APC. Come back to the elections. So now we look around. I don't say other people then they who self get their own credentials. But I think I get a very good credential in administration, in political experience, and above all, loyalty and commitment and consistency to the APC for serve as the next deputy national chairman.
That's a very good pitch, I must say. You talk about the diaspora as there. The diaspora is a very, very huge sector when it comes to this election. And I think people can just sit down no more and just start for say, oh, diaspora. But as you been in that position, in terms of coordinating them, bringing it. So what's some of the importance really of these diaspora groups them coming to this election or coming to an election?
The most important thing is that they are the breadwinners of millions of mouths in the country. Look at the African diaspora, look at the quantum of remittances, where they send to the people there, where they send for development purposes, building clinics, building schools, building roads, not only in Sierra Leone, but in so many African countries. I mean, also they read a statement by the president of the ADB, the Nigerian Dr. Adesemi or something. And when he calculates the amount of remittances when they come to Africa every year, he said maybe you don't see the reasons why they ask for foreign aid. So the diaspora is very important. And they are a key voice. Because all they need for do now for phone them people them back in the towns and villages. And give them reason why they for vote for the party of the common man, of the ordinary man, of the grassroots, which is the APC. So they're very important. The diaspora. Now make even the courts don't recognize them. And they put them now by every committee will involve the APC activities. The PPRC don't recognize them. Everybody don't recognize them. And I'm also proud for being part of transforming the APC diaspora into the 6th region of our party. It happened under my watch. Of course, it was a collaborative effort. Not only one doer, but I played a key role, a vital role, and I'm very proud of that. And now there's strong competition for the position of diaspora regional chairman.
I'm not saying you'll be very influential at that position.
Well, I made friends. All I can say is that I made a lot of friends all over the globe. And I have a fan club now, which is Global Friends of Logos Koroma, within the UK and I, within continental Europe, within Africa, within Asia, within North America and Canada. So I get very strong links that the APC diaspora, but I worked for it over 10 years. Worked very hard for it.
I think that's why they will be very grateful to somebody like you, putting, increasing the number of different branches all around the world for this. Quick one, I want to bring you back to Kono. What message do people from Kono need to hear for us APC to increase the numbers of votes from Kono?
Well, the message we they would like for you is that one of their own is recognized and given a level playing field by the party. And I know what Kono people they don't say give anybody undue advantage or give anybody an unfair advantage, but create a level playing field for everybody, including sons and daughters of Kono, which is a necessary part of the winning equation for the APC party. In my view, of course, you will get the one in APC who will say, oh, we don't need Kono.
No, I think every sensible person will realize we need Kono, but at the same time, that's why we have also have a constitution whereby we each and every APCian will follow. So that's why we have that's why we have the constitution with BC with all the rights to follow and read and follow that thing. Now I just ask you another question. What's your relationship with His Excellency and His Koroma?
Excellent. May they communicate by WhatsApp, social media. Occasionally we talk. Just recently, I was in McKinney. Okay. If you see on social media, me sing the birthday song for her. Okay. And we cut the cake together. Okay. And we had lunch, birthday lunch. And after that, I returned back to Freetown. By the way, President Koroma and the college mates. Okay. We're in Fuabe College together. And he know me record at Fuabe College for the APC party. And he know me record at the APC party thereafter. And while they run for the position of Deputy National Chairman, I go meet him at McKinney. I go tell her first as the big man or the former big man of the party.
Yeah, I think there will always be a big man at the party.
Well, a big man at the party, although they can't say, well, not in the former position.
Yeah,
but major stakeholder at the party. Now a big man at international circles and the whole world, and we're very proud of her.
I think even recently we see her in Nigeria.
Yeah, we're very proud of her record and in recognition that the whole of Africa, West Africa, among ECOWAS states, now we get blessing. We get blessing. And we hope they will continue to bring laurels. Talking about Kono, let me go back to Kono. One thing we need is support as Logos Koroma. I want to make that clear in this program. I support the return of Chief Sam Sumana as a member of the APC. I support that wholeheartedly in the wider interest of the party and in the interest of unity and cohesion and the inclusion of Kono going forward into 2023. Me not they say we Sam Sumana come back as flag bearer of the party. No, because we don't say that election. Mm-hmm. Okay? The new constitution say election. And I think Chief Sam Sumana and the board himself understand that and he realized that for saying an election. But all what we want as Kono people is a level playing field for everybody. In politics, every vote counts. Everybody counts. You cannot discard anybody. Now you self-talk just now about the small margin with which the last election was won. So the APC needs everybody on board, including Chief Samson.
I think, Chief Samson was once APC, and it's always going to be an APC. And I also think, the APC party as a whole will always welcome him back. I think, just because of how, we will be president now, we will adopt the new constitution, whereby people voted in, if and when somebody step out from the party, you have to take another 5 years. I think that's the only stumbling block or whatever it may be for Chief Samson. I think once that clause within the APC constitution, once I think Chief Samson, the 5 years elapsed, I think we will open.
The 5 years for what? For comeback and the party?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but until that date to the interpretation of the courts, and Justice Fisher recently addressed that in the latest ruling. So now we left that to the courts that they address that.
I agree. And we get the Magistrate Fisher. Hopefully, we will come up with
Justice.
Sorry, sir. Justice Fisher. Judge Fisher, Magistrate Fisher, one part there. I think are seriously sorry for that. So, Mr. Koma or Uncle Logus, let's come back to the national issues right now, if you may, about the increase in the average commodities they offer people at this country. Now, with the CC less, where you be in power, when you're not the Minister of Transport, rest for the bag was like 250.
Yeah.
Clearly now, rest they go to 600, climbing up. Here, at the time, we all know how much fuel BD compared to now. You go the average commodities just the skyrocket at the country right now. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, it's not good for the country. It's not good for the people. We therefore realize, however, that we economy based on the dollar exchange rate because we import most of the domestic commodities. Unfortunately, we are not a farming nation at this stage, to the extent that we able to feed the population with staple food when I rest. We're not able to progress. Successive governments not able to meet that threshold. So we for try by all means to meet that threshold. Because now the dollar is a runaway dollar. And it affects Sierra Leone adversely, maybe even more than neighboring countries in the sub-region. More than Guinea, more than Liberia. For the first time in history, Guinea currency stronger than the Leone.
It's almost a double now.
Exactly. So something has to be done. During our administration, the administration of President Ernest Bai Koroma, some of the essential commodities like fuel and rice were being subsidized. They've been subsidized for cushioning the effect on the people. Because our people are suffering. That is a reality. We they suffer. Because now we need a long bench, we need opposition, we need a long bench.
Opposition, easy.
Right, and opposition not easy. So you have to cut down on your movements then. If you be the they go Kono maybe every 2 weeks or every other week, and they Kono up and down. Now going to Kono and back will cost me over 5-6 million, maybe 10 million leons.
Yes.
So I therefore cut down on the number of times why they go Kono or go see me people there. And I also therefore cut down on extracurricular activities. Dining out, occasionally you go take your wife, or I go out and I go take dinner, and I go out, or I go socialize, or things like that, or maybe go on a vacation. Those are now things of the past because they are not easily affordable in a situation where you change $1 for 1,850,000 conservatively. So it hits everybody. And I shall say the President, His Excellency President Bio, himself been done in some of the interviews, acknowledged 8 times are hard. He acknowledged that. And we get credit for that. Say at least he acknowledged that. But we hope say he will go also further but try for address them in any way.
So now, I like in your way. So coming June 24th of 2023, once APC come back in power, how some of these issues will be addressed?
Well, first of all, you see, one of the credit where APC government gets, look at the history, is we open up the country to investors more than we counterparts in the SLP. That is a fact. Under our administration, 2012 to 2018, we had scores of investors who were coming into this country meaningfully. We can invest meaningfully. Okay, maybe at present, the world economic situation not allow that for to happen, but also it just not happen. Maybe because of local circumstances, maybe for other reasons unknown to us. But I want to assure you, say, on day one of the next APC administration, you will see investors then come back to this country in droves.
I believe, say
we sabi how for woo them. We sabi how for bring them. Then now with DNA, development is in the DNA of the APC party.
And some of the developments made by personally you, we also saw the expansion of the ports. You know, when they extend and say
you're building another party,
yeah, when they build another party, and you know, somebody like you know, within an office, and all push down the two NCP where I used to work at, for make sure they can put us to you on
and
that.
then the airport modernization.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things we were able to do and cover. Another something around you discuss of one more small power. At the end of the day, you've been a grassroots politician. We all, I don't have the numbers, the statistics numbers, but we all don't see the increase in the number of illegal drugs used or water and systems. We saw videos of people being high, falling. We don't see the dismissal of the people from the military, from the police. We don't see the guy by them high on coach accidents in the apron. What advice, as a father, will you give to the brother and sister? They must up to brothers and sisters with this illegal uprise in drugs.
First of all, let's find out the cause of the problem: frustration and hopelessness.
High unemployment also, I believe.
Hopelessness because me know graduates that we don't come off from college 4 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago. They don't get job. There is no hope for them. This is not a new situation. Not of us say now under SLPP no more, this don't happen. It also was happening to some extent under the APC. But although it don't worsen now, it don't intensify, it don't exacerbate. So some of these youngsters, they don't get place for time. Some of them don't get 3 square meals a day. So they are frustrated. So what did they resort to? Temporary relief. And that temporary relief, they could take push or drugs, then go high, then sleep at it. You see, say, even members of the forces who see on social media, army man and they take push, policeman and they take push. These are people who are in employment. So what now for the people that will not get employment? If you pass Antisi Road Nanette, coming towards Trinity Church, you will see hundreds of people that they don't have it. And then they sleep. That's their home. On a lane side. So let God help you. Let God help the country. Let God help the government and succeeding governments from able to address the issue affecting our youth.
Thank you very much. Last, probably not the least question. Do you think back in 2018, with His Excellency Dr. Nesbai Kumar selecting Dr. Samoa as the flag bearer 2028, was it a good decision then? Was it the best candidate among the rest?
In 2018,
yes.
By President Nkrumah's assessment, it was the best.
Okay.
And also, in terms of the voting population, you said don't talk about how small the margin was.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, it was not a bad choice. Okay? And at the party being given President Nkrumah the mandate for them to choose in conformity with our operating constitution at the time.
Correct.
The 1995 constitution, where I say served the party very well during the own time. But now the own time don't pass.
Definitely.
This is the era of social media. This is the era of democracy. This is the era of where people are question every single thing what they do. When you be careful, say, let you not go to the wrong place and go snap you the next minute you say I'm on social media.
You smile bad self and go after
exactly.
So,
you know, so the world has changed. Social media has changed the world. You know. So we hope say everybody will adapt. You know. Social media they hold the government to account. A lot of people say no more that this government and they hold to account to. Any government will come in power in the future
will be held
to
very
even more accountable, very high standards than is being done now.
Agree.
Just as you see in other parts of the world, in the United States, in Europe, in Asia, in so many parts of the world. This is the new trend. It's a new political trend.
Thank you very much, Boss Logos, Mr. Nkrumah. I just want to give you final word to Ovias them, with APC members there, people there waiting at the fence, because at the end of the day, 2023 June is not too far ahead. We all can see APC need for a redeem salon. That's what I believe. It's not so much about where, but APC has a responsibility, because the way the country is going out, so there are things that are being difficult, the challenges there with salon they face. It's not about APC anymore, it's about redeeming the country itself. So I don't know if you wanted this opportunity for talk to reviewers there, if there's hope for the 2023, and just keep everybody in a unity.
So first of all, let we try for unite the party. Issues that they now will divide we at the party. The issue of this flag bearer business, the divide we. The issue of Kono and the return of Chief Samsumana as a member of the APC, it will divide we, whether you like it or not. So all anything there will divide we and the party, they will unite. The reason we make a kaya today, that this studio, this is not Dr. Samuel Kamara in studio.
Correct.
Not so?
Yes, sir.
Like office this, not so?
Correct.
But I decide for kaya, for demonstrate, say, I will look for peace and unity and for unify the party. So let other people follow the example. Let not begin say, this man I already go to her because of this person I already talk to her because of X, Y, Z. No. Then divisions they permeate. Where we the leaders then demonstrate them, we followers themselves, they follow suit. Then themselves they decide. Then we bring everybody together and tell them, say, this new constitution we will get, that democratic constitution, the only thing we will make sure, say, the person who they support, when they put the ballot box, go vote for her. And the election where they hold, sometimes a stadium they go hold her. They put all things like how they do in Nigeria.
Yeah, because that's what they want in Nigeria too.
They put all things, you they see.
Camera everywhere.
So when they beat you, you don't go say they hold you. You know? You don't go say they hold you. Now that moment will redeem the party. But if we try for discourage people, for say, no, you don't belong here, you don't belong here now, I know they talk to you because of that, I know they support you because of that, that will make we lose votes. That will bring everybody together. Then we go to the election united. Let's go to the convention united. Who are winning? Win. He they run for deputy chairman of the party. I believe myself and I believe my credentials. But a political game, you either win or you lose. Just like the flag bearer. So whoever lose or shake the hand of the candidate will win. You congratulate her and you work with her going forward in the interest of the party.
Thank you very much. I think, one thing we don't exhaust now these studio things about peace, unity for the party, and how, as a whole, as APC as a whole, if we come together, I think we have enough numbers then to win the coming up 2023 election. I just want to say briefly, hopefully, you will be the intermediary for fiscal chief. Some money as soon as this studio, so you go motivate them for right out of way for come at this studio.
Well, now that's one of the reasons make a kaya.
Exactly. So we're very
and Chief Samsumana and my brother.
Yeah.
And I tell her say the kaya, and I get him blessed, and he said, "Go ahead, Dr. Samuel." I said, "No, say the kaya."
Everybody knows the kaya. The flags were out.
This is how it should be.
Yeah.
Let nobody not be a taboo. Let no area not be a no-go area for the party. If not so, we will divide ourselves. We will divide ourselves. Like how they say on social media, some people they say they want to affect the election card. No, don't affect the election card. Please, let us set aside our differences. We must have differences because I say politics is a power game. Nobody will go give power on a silver platter. Nobody will.
I agree with that. Again, so I say thanks again to you. Hopefully, this will be the last time having you at this studio as well.
It won't be, because I did pursue my peace efforts, I did pursue my unifying efforts. So you are going to see more of me.
Thank you very much again. Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks again. I appreciate it.